What happens when you win the lottery?
You just won the lottery. Congrats. You're f***ed. If you're lucky enough to survive all the lawsuits, betrayals, and murder attempts you're about to face, you might just live long enough to go bankrupt. If you want any chance of this working out, listen carefully. The first thing you need to do is absolutely nothing. Don't tell anyone, don't quit your job or drop out of school, don't buy a GT3 RS, and don't claim your prize. Yet, most places will give you a few months to grab your check. Let's just say you won in California, which gives you 180 days. We're gonna use this to our advantage, but in the meantime, it is absolutely and utterly imperative that you do not lose your ticket. This actually happened to 7 people.
The main thing is like the nostalgia, the American dream is winning the lottery. And especially the older, I feel like it's more the older generation that really plays the lottery in a sense, like, or talks about it. I don't know if because maybe we know the statistics, Gen Z or more like millennials know the statistics, but personally, I never really hear about people playing, at least my age. But there's definitely, I mean, the biggest thing in our generation is sports betting or online, blackjack and stuff like that. So, but the main thing that people don't understand about winning the lottery or anything in that matter, like you're gonna have to pay taxes on that. So if you win $1 million, you're gonna have to be you're gonna be paying a huge residual percentage to the government right off the bat. And even yeah, so like if you won $1 million, you're gonna have to be paying what? I'm trying to think. If won the lottery for if you won the lottery for $1 million, how much money would you make after taxes? So basically, it's half. The government's taking around 40% of that. And so you're left with about 600,000. And it's just, yeah, that's crazy.
3 of them didn't survive. Take your ticket and sign the back of it, photocopy it, take selfies with it, record a video with it, put it in a waterproof, fireproof box, then take that box to the bank and put it in the safety deposit box. Now that your ticket's hopefully secure, we need to use this time to prepare a few things. First, we need to hire a professional. I watched a few lottery news segments and found you this guy, Jason Kurland. He's a self-described lottery lawyer that charges $200K upfront and a $50K monthly fee. That might sound like a lot, but for legal protection, money management, and tax shielding, this is actually a steal. Plus, you won the $200 million Powerball, so $200K is only 1,000th of your winnings. Now that you have Jason on your team, he's gonna prepare your banking and investment accounts. And of course, he won't withdraw any money without your written consent. But in your very first meeting, he gives you some bad news. See, the first rule of winning the lottery is to always stay anonymous. But most places won't let you do this. California requires the public disclosure of the winner's full name. And no,
Everyone who wins the lottery, especially if you won the lottery like on Facebook. I won. Look, I'm a Powerball winner. The selfie, posting it on Facebook.
a trust won't help you. You're getting fully doxxed, and we need to prepare for that. But first, your phone rings. It's your boss, telling you off for being late to work. Resist the urge to show up to the office with an AR-15.
You think that you own the world? I imagine a lot of people just blow their money.
And instead put in a 2-week notice. Leaving on bad terms would just give your coworkers an excuse to sue you. Now back to concealing your identity. Delete your social media, get a new phone number, make a new email, and change your primary address to a PO box. This should help prevent strangers from tracking you down, but an even bigger threat might just be your own family. This guy right here won $20 million, and he used it wisely, starting up a successful gourmet popcorn shop and helping out his loved ones. 9 years later, he was murdered by his sister-in-law. If you don't keep your family in check.
What? Dude was just trying to pop off in life. In the popcorn business, bro. I wonder how that went down. Because I think that you almost enter a new social class in a sense. Because like, of course it's gonna let your resources, like, give you more resources. And that is one of the biggest things that we just strive to be in this life, is to have more resources. It's throughout all of ancient history, it was to have new resources and to have abundances. Through the hunting and gathering days, if you had more resources, that was your money. So, and people would they would kill people for those resources. And that's, in America, that's why we have this great country. So it's just interesting to see how much money can make people mad and change who they are.
You might end up getting killed, or even worse, divorced. So here's the plan. You decide right now the exact amount you want to dedicate for family and make a trust for it. Once you fund this trust with a portion of your winnings, Jason will take it over. So when your family members come begging, you could just tell them you're not in charge of the money. Let Jason be the bad guy. After a few weeks of...
I feel like Jason just takes, it's a good service, but I wonder what his average client is. Because I would assume if you're already wealthy, then you're more than not going to play the lottery. You're not gonna wait in that freaking gas station line and be like the average Joe, which they'll walk up in like a shell or something. Can I get a Marlboro Red and I'll do what is that, the pick prize, Can I do one of those, number 10 over there, pick prize? Yeah, is that $20? All right, okay. Pulls out they usually always pay in cash. Always. And so I just bet that it's just wild. What do you think that conversation consists of? Because he almost works on like private equity, but he's an attorney. And I think that he probably has just the average people that you would people watch out in public come into his office, and who have just the craziest backgrounds of they were living underneath a bridge with one shoe, and they were like telling him their testimony of sorts.
Preparation and sleepless nights, it's finally time for you to claim your ticket. But here is where a lot of people mess up. The lottery press conference is where you'll be presented with the world's largest stimulus check in front of a horde of reporters who are snapping and publishing nice clean photos of your face right next to the reward for killing you. It's gonna be an exciting event. I mean, look how happy this guy is. He just won $1 million. He doesn't know it yet. But 1 month after taking this photo, he's gonna mysteriously die of cyanide poisoning.
What? Oh my gosh. And you wonder if that's some government intervention. Or maybe our boy Jason over there is could be a part of this theory. You never know. But that's crazy. I know that there's a lot of that stuff happens in like North Korea and like Chinese cultures and stuff like that, where you'll have someone in high government power kill people, like hire hitmen to kill people. Like that's actually still a thing. Hitmen are still a thing and they're out there. It's just you've got to have a lot of money, of course, and there has to be some sort of a lot of people in power are the ones who probably hire the most hitmen. I wonder what the average salary of a hitman is. Average salary of a hitman in the United States. In the United States of America. Because because the only time that you ever see anything like that is in movies. So, and it is definitely illegal. Huh. I mean, per job, like a high risk, they're getting like more than 100. That's not even worth it. Like the very large extreme cases is 100,000 to 1 million per job. That's like some Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like in the TV show. Like they're basically a couple and they're hitmen together. I mean, that is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But I don't even think that that's worth it because you're putting yourself on the line. I just think that you definitely have to have some type of psychopathic wiring in your head. Because don't get me wrong, like one job, if it takes 1 day and you're getting 100K or you're getting $1 million, then, but it's still not justifiable. Like, because you have to live with that too.
No suspect was ever found. In unrelated news, these two women inherited all of his winnings. In completely unrelated news, this woman prepared the last meal he ate before he died. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the press conference might not be optimal for you. Luckily, there are some genius tactics you can use to reduce its potential harm. Renting a car will stop people from tracking your license plate. Wearing a disguise will lower your profile as long as it's not ridiculous enough to go viral.
But the thing is that they're not gonna do that. Like, I don't think anyone is paranoid enough. Like, when they win the lottery, they're thinking that their life has changed forever. And so, I don't think that they're thinking or even know about people who have won the lottery. If people knew about this more, then there would be hundreds of billions of dollars of people who played the lottery who probably wouldn't decide to play now.
The smartest way to handle your press conference is by not going. You're not required to show up for your media appearance. The massive check with your name on it will still get put on the news, you just won't be in the shop. Instead, you'll go to the lottery office without any cameras and quietly grab your normal size check. But as you hold the piece of paper that's about to change your life, the first thing you'll notice is that the amount is a lot lower than you expected.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix. Now this whole flow is a
See, there are two ways to claim your prize when you win the lottery. If you want the full advertised amount, you need to take the annuity, which means your prize gets paid out over the course of 29 years. But you took your prize in the more popular lump sum, where you get all the money at once, but it'll be just around half of the total jackpot. On top of that, since you won in the US, you're getting taxed. But don't worry about this, because the authorities have already withheld all the taxes you owe from
See, that's the thing. It's like, how can you? It does depend on the time period because if they're saying that all of the money is like you're getting $10,000 a year for every 5 years, and then if you're 60 years old, then at that point it's better to take the lump sum. And then the thing is that usually people who are trying to win the lottery are people who have worked years in the workforce and are using that as escape of their miserable lives, you know? Like the reason why you'd play is because money would make your life better in the sense of having that peace financially.
your check. Just kidding. They've withheld some of your taxes, but way less than what you actually owe them. Luckily, Jason has an accountant on his team who can guide you through the how much do you owe the government death trap. So after factoring in the lump sum and taxes, your jackpot has gone from 200 million to a measly 70. I guess it'll have to do. But before you even cash your check, your phone starts blowing up. All of the friends and family that have your phone number are asking if you're the mysterious winner. Remember, the public only has your name, but not your face. You can tell some people you really trust, but be careful. Maybe even use an NDA. Now, it's finally time to make your deposit. After your check settles, you'll see more money in your bank account than you even thought was possible. Hopefully, you're using a larger bank and not a credit union where your checking account would probably be worth more than all of their assets combined, but even with a massive institution holding your money, you still have a problem. Only 250,000 of your dollars are insured. But how risky actually is this? Well, ever since 2008, uninsured depositors only lost money in 6% of US bank failures, and large banks like Chase or Wells Fargo are designated as systemically important financial institutions.
Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Agricultural Bank of China, Bank of America.
AKA, they have the US government as their sugar daddy, so it would take a lot for them to go under. Chances are you'll be fine, but still, you should move this money.
But what banks? Like JP Morgan, so Chase, Wells Fargo, I guess they have a lot of branches underneath that.
Designated as systemically important financial institutions. AKA, they have the US government as their sugar daddy, so it would take a lot for them to go under. Chances are you'll be fine, but still, you should move this money somewhere else. It's time to hit up Jason to fund your trusts and investments. Let's give him 40 million to manage for you, and with a conservative 6% return, this will be making you 200k a month. You could put 10 mil into your family trust, and now you have $20 million in pure spending power. So let's get down to business. First, you need a new house. I say go with this $10 million LA mansion. It's got a master bedroom where you'll wake up to beautiful ocean views,
But then you have to pay the taxes on that property.
500 bottle wine cellar, an infinity pool, and a movie theater, but one thing's missing. That's
What am I buying? If I win the lottery, what am I buying? So let's go with that last check, like 70 mil. I've got 70 mil in the bank from winning the lottery, and that's mine to keep. Probably like, I'll definitely go with a house. with I want like a chocolate fountain in the like a chocolate fountain in the middle of the living room. And then a go-kart track that has bubbles, like bubble sprayers. That's like throwing bubbles at me and I'm dodging it. 'Cause I'm gonna be one of those people who is not publicizing that I won the lottery at all, especially now. So there for that first bit, I gotta like keep it, not have many people around. But yeah, definitely that. It's gotta have like a 10 car garage with but turning that into a ranch. So I have like part ranch, part automobiles. So I have like a pony that I can ride around the block, tell my neighbors, like my old ass neighbors what's up, you know, on my little pony. And I'll go ahead and put a nice plastic horn so they think it's a unicorn. And I'll be riding that thing down the block. Yep. Be riding it down the block. Get me some hubba bubba on that thing. You know? What else would I get? Probably a chef, a personal chef with me. Uh, yeah.
Better. Any toy you ever wanted is now yours. Your dream watch, your dream fit, your dream grocery haul, being a lottery winner is awesome. You're also starting to realize why rich people live longer than poor people. Not only can you now afford any medical procedures you want, but you even have a private doctor. You pay them $20K a year to be on call for whatever you need. You also get a celebrity fitness trainer for $300 a session.
A celebrity fitness trainer. And they're gonna have you. They're gonna be the person who tells everyone that I'm the millionaire. They're gonna be like, this guy just won $70 million. You see those guns? And then they're gonna do like you're gonna do your workout, and then midway he's gonna be like, I'm here with the new Powerball winner who just won $100 million. Today, we're going to be doing cardio while trying the Carolina Reaper Ghost Pepper.
And of course a private chef to keep your diet perfect. But even more important than this is your total lack of stress. Not having to worry about
What would be the best meal? You're to have a private chef. Ugh. Probably something like obscure. Because I think that I can cook pretty well. Like, grill up a steak and all that jazz. But I want something like a duck reduction raised from the Taiwans and like breastfeeded by Kim Kardashian. And then that is the delicacy that's hit my mouth.
bills, work, or housing, and having the free time to hang out with friends or take a midday nap has vastly improved your overall well-being. But then you get a call from Jason that changes everything. See, he helped you buy your house using a trust to keep you anonymous, but internet detectives have somehow managed to trace the ownership back to you. On top of that, news reporters have been silently taking stalker shots of you on your daily routine.
Yeah, especially now. Like, we're gonna be in such a state of surveillance that it's gonna get to a point where satellite pictures and like drones that are flying around are just gonna know who's gonna be doing what. And even if you own any type of device, there's always ways to trace you.
And all of a sudden, your face and your address are front page news. Your phone immediately starts blowing up, except this time, it's not just your friends and family, it's strangers. You start getting hundreds of letters in the mail. People are telling you their life stories, how all they need is
Imagine how full. Imagine how full your mailbox would be, and how annoying that would be. Like, having to carry back the mail to the house is like a reward and also a curse because you know that all those bills are going to be there, right? And then, but then maybe you get like that Amazon package or whatever, and then like maybe some cards of people telling you, but these are just going to be people that you absolutely don't know that are asking for like 1% or like they're giving you their PayPal in letter form. At that point, I feel like I'm just throwing those to the ground. Like what else am I supposed to do with that?
10 grand, 5 grand. Someone even shows up to your house. I think it's time for you to
Someone's at the door. Open the door. Open the door. Cause then you gotta hire a security team. At that point, you gotta have some freaking Persian and a big sumo wrestler. I'm hiring a sumo wrestler, to kind of just stomp and give him that hoorah, and then you know get some sushi rice and just freaking suffocate you with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? While the other Persian's like wrapping his freaking black hair around your throat and smothering you in his chest hair tuft. That's what I'm doing if I win the lottery. That's what I'm doing.
hire some bodyguards before things start getting worse. And by worse, I mean you might get killed. It's kind of a rite of passage for lottery winners. This guy won 30 mil, then got buried in his business partner's backyard. He won the Brazilian lottery, then got kidnapped while on a walk. His house got broken into, and he was shot to death in.
He's keeping like maybe 200K. Maybe. And that's not even a lot for 2 months later, for that happening to someone 2 months later, for not even a million that the government's gonna take 50% of what you win, if not more. Oh my gosh.
In front of his kids. But you have one advantage over all these unlucky winners.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Your location. Most of these tragic fates happened in not so great neighborhoods. You, on the other hand, are in a $10 million LA mansion, surrounded by people who are familiar with.
I would, if I win the lottery, I would pull up to one of those. I would, you know, meet Shaq, Tom Brady, Chris Pratt, all of those, Deion Sanders, you know, get that prime coach. Be over there taking a picture with prime coach. Am I white? It's kind of odd. It's 'cause every time I see one of those whiteout parties, I just think about family beach photos and that one person like sat on the sand and they just got a freaking brown ass at that point 'cause 'cause they got their white stuff all dirtied up. It's looking like they're wearing an adult diaper over there, you know what I'm saying? And so, and you think about like it's just the most inconvenient color to party with. Like, and maybe that's why you think that it would be a rich person's party, because I feel like every rich person eats like this. Is that avocado tip? I guess I'll have one more, but my Pilates teacher, I think, underneath her breath, called me fat. So, um, also, does this have 24 karat gold in it? Yeah? Okay, good, because I only eat 24 karat gold.
Money. Hopefully this will protect you from any real danger and allow you to peacefully live the high life. But what your mansion can't hide you from are your relationships.
Friends are going to come out of the woodwork. Family that they never knew they had. Everyone's going to be asking for handouts.
Friends, I lost just about all my friends from New York.
When you win, everybody you know thinks they won too.
You have to manage to say no to these people. It's gonna make you feel guilty, but the truth is, if you gave everyone money that asked for it, you wouldn't have anything left. Your mansion's upkeep costs you $50K a month. Maintenance for your car is an average yearly salary. Your private chef, your trainer, your doctor.
An average yearly salary?
A month. Maintenance for your car is an average yearly.
Okay, a month. I thought it said a year. I was like, what? That's why I gotta have my pony strap, bruh. Gotta have my pony in that garage. That little unicorn. That little quarter pounder. You know? Not that triple.
Salary. Your private chef, your trainer, your doctor, your bodyguards, Erewhon, Equinox, rich person parties, woman. Across everything, your monthly expenses are clearing 6 figures. But even worse than the broke people begging you for money are the rich people begging you for money. They call themselves financial advisors. They try to hypnotize you with confusing financial linguistics until you've signed away 1% of your portfolio.
That's why, oh, what's it called? Gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. What's it called? Can't think of it right now. It's gonna kill me. That's why hedge fund managers make so much money. I I read an article on hedge fund managers, and really whenever you're at the top tier of anything that is of like being in banking or finance or being a hedge fund manager or working on Wall Street, um, on the public market and doing stuff like that. Anytime you work with stuff like that, where money, literally the product is the money, and what you're providing of value is that you know that you can grow something with the client's money. Instead of it being just a one transactional thing in most businesses where you collect the money and you're giving the person a product. And so hedge fund managers, oh my gosh, dude. Or finance advisors, stuff like that. That's where the money is. But the thing is that I could never do it because you're kind of you've got to be proficient in different aspects and really know about the market, or they're just really tedious and boring jobs. And especially at this point where whenever you know what the market's going to do, then you just have systems to follow.
Portfolio for the privilege of underperforming the market. Don't listen to them. Certainly don't listen to people pitching you their genius business ideas. All of these opportunists are starting to make you feel like a walking ATM. When you win the lottery, people won't respect you like they do other rich people because you didn't really earn your money. You just experienced a statistical glitch. This is where you begin to have a bit of an identity crisis.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of...
All you are and all you're known as is the guy that got lucky.
What is the percentage of lottery winners who get killed or assassinated? What is the What is the percentage of lottery winners who get killed after winning the lottery? Gotta make sure that we get the facts right here. All right, let's see. Because I'm sure that it's not too much, like definitely not more than half. Yeah, it's just kind of it's uncommon for the majority, because just like homicides in general are more common than not. Usually crimes are, there's different misdemeanors and such of like public indecency and you know, harassing or sexual assault and stuff like that that happens more often than killing.
When you meet new people, it's often people will say, well, what do you do? Especially in my circle of people, most people were working or trying.
And then no one's going to talk to you the same. No one's going to talk to you the same. And this happens with famous people too, and rich people. I have a friend who owns his own business and makes a couple $1,000,000 a year. And, he's in a different class than I am or a lot of other people. And so whenever we're introducing him to anyone, he's always very adamant about, I don't want people to know that I have money. Because he knows that people are going to treat him differently. And it's one of those things that you just have to battle with in your life, that you're probably never going to have an honest conversation where a person doesn't want money from you or wants a picture with you just because you're of higher status. And that maybe if they're a part of your life, then you can help them out in some way.
To put themselves through college, and I just won the lottery and I just sit around. That's not something that I wanted to say.
One day as you're contemplating the meaning of life, a mysterious man walks up to you, and he's here to inform you that you're being sued. A random guy you've never seen in your life is claiming that he bought your ticket, and he's coming for all of your winnings.
He's gonna pay full. I'm the winner. God took me to that gas station.
Just wanted to ask, man, is there any truth to these claims about the stolen ticket?
Luckily, you're gonna be fine, because you have legal
Dude is in sweatpants and a Hawaiian shirt.
protection from our boy Jason. Jason?
A New York attorney known as
What?
the lottery lawyer is now charged with extorting lottery winners in a $107 million scheme.
Jason helped a lot. He was the first guy I called.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Jason Kurland, along with 3 others, now facing charges ranging from wire fraud to money.
I knew Jason was a little dirty dog. Come on now. You can... Bro. He looks like somebody who would be a little pervert, or like hug people weird at the Thanksgiving gathering, or just smell like oatmeal. Long nose Jason. I wonder how long that went on.
Money laundering.
Well, in hindsight, giving this guy access to our finances was a pretty stupid decision, and totally stole around $10 million from you. He's obviously...
Because you have to think about it, it's such an odd niche to be in. And, like, especially with people who... Like, people who are winning the lottery are... When they win that, it's going to be exposed somewhere. And so those people are usually they lived a life where they were kind of manipulated by the system, if that makes sense. So like the system of working a 9 to 5 of that sense. It's not a bad system. I'm just saying that they're used to working and they're used to having somebody tell them what to do. Instead of now that they have financial freedom, they're the ones that are making decisions of how they're going to spend their time because money is now not a concern. So I'm sure that he's calling them up and he's being like, hey, I have 150 people that I've worked with before, and it's really important that you get this squared away. This is what all of the rich people do. I even have, congressmen and successful business owners that I work with also. So it's a good way to play a scandal if you're going to play a scandal would be with those type of people.
Going to prison, but that's money you're not getting back. But hey, at least you have a mansion to cry in.
13 years in prison. Oh, that guy's definitely gonna get it right in his little oatmeal pie. In jail, dude. He ain't gonna have to bend too far, brother, to pick up that soap, dude. They're beating the crap out of you. If you're a lawyer and you're going to, especially federal prison, I don't know if it was county or federal, but usually I think that county is, like shorter sentences and federal is a lot longer. But I wonder if he's still alive. What's his name? What's this guy's name, Ray? I know his name's Jason, but what's his last name? This guy's name is Jason Kurland, and sometimes is referred to the lottery lawyer. He was convicted in July 2022 of wire fraud. Honest services were fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy for defrauding lottery winner clients of more than $100 million. He's not died in jail, unfortunately, but I'm sure that he's some guys are tickling on him, if you know what I'm saying.
Stupid decision, and totally stole around $10 million from you. He's obviously going to prison, but that's money you're not getting back. But hey, at least you have a mansion to cry in.
30,000 people have been ordered to evacuate their homes because of a wildfire tearing through wealth.
And you have to think about it, like those huge mansions. And not only, like, there's so many mansions in California. There's so many. And you have to think about if one mansion, and they already have a huge problem with how dry and hot it gets in California. But you have to imagine, like, those mansions, whenever they're burning, you're most likely that humongous building that's burning and especially with the breeze off the coast, is just going to create more burning. Like, I'm sure that a ton of people who own mansions, like or just houses in general in California, the insurance, homeowners insurance is ridiculous. And that's why people are moving out of California, because not only do they have to pay the insurance, they have to pay the state taxes there. And so I know that a lot of people are moving to New York and, Nashville. Like, they're just moving around away from the West Coast because it's getting to the point where it's not worth it.
These suburbs of Los Angeles.
Among the thousands of people in Southern California who have lost homes in the wildfires is the
winner of the biggest lottery jackpot in history.
Just when you think things can't get any worse, you suffer the same fate as $2 billion Powerball winner Edwin Castro and...
How many?
Is the
winner of the biggest lottery jackpot in history.
Just when you think things can't get any worse, you suffer the same fate as $2 billion Powerball winner...
$2 billion? $2 billion. $2 billion or million? I mean, it's got to be billion. Holy shit. And the thing that's crazy about that, like that's still a lot of money, but it's like a the lottery is almost like the government. It's another terrible thing that the government does because the government already is take, spend, spending so much money. And like, yes, do a lot of the money that goes into people who buy the lottery go to, college funds and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yes, but the majority is going to like freaking congressmen's bougie ass toilet paper or, some oil to put in their hair. And that's considered something that they need to look good on camera. It's an expense that they need to look good on camera so that they can help the American people. Like some crazy stuff like that. But he only ended up getting $228 million out of $2 billion. Like that's still a ton of money. But God dang, baby.
Edwin Castro, and for some reason a large amount of lottery winners, your multi-million-dollar house burns to the ground. It seems like your luck has run out. You're getting sued, you've been robbed of millions, and your home is gone. Your misfortune is of course front page news. Everyone loves a good downfall. And to you, you've become just another lottery failure. Or have you? Some sources claim that 70% of lottery winners go bankrupt. Others say that it's 1 in 3. Which is it?
And the thing is that, like, not only lottery winners, it's also people who have become super successful. Like, I see stuff on my TikTok feed all the time of, like, NBA players who are homeless now. Major League Baseball players who are living on the side of the street. Football players who had an injury after having a really successful career who are living at their mom's house. It's and the thing is that it's just because they think that they can spend like it's scientifically and statistically proven that whenever you make more money, you're going to spend more money without a doubt. And it's almost like it's almost good to have somebody who just manages your money in a sense so that you just don't think about how much that you have. So that you can never be like those famous sports stars or people who went viral and then lost it all. Like even with the Island Boys, they lost everything. They got viral for like a couple months for kissing each other, doing that Alabamian stuff going on down there. They're probably French kissing and saying like roll tide in there, doing that little country stupid stuff. So yeah, I wonder how anyways.
The correct answer is neither. Both of those statistics have been completely debunked. Winning the lottery tends to get painted as a curse, but in reality, it turns out that stumbling into millions of dollars is actually pretty great. Real studies have shown that lottery winners are healthier and live longer. They have a lower chance of being overweight. They have higher long-term life satisfaction. They don't get socially isolated. Instead, they spend more time with friends.
If I win the lottery, my picture would probably be like this. I would be sincerely I would be so happy. Because at the end of the day, and this is the biggest debate of them all. At the end of the day, money does not buy happiness. And I'll say it again, money does not Um, and I don't even have a lot of money, you know? Like all that money does is gives you the peace of not having to worry about money. And like, sure, does it buy fancy things that makes you feel good or, that is pleasurable, but at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily buy your happiness. And it's controversial because people who are gold diggers, um, that is how their mind might be wired. Um, that if they have certain resources, then that is being a materialistic person and having money is like the straight shot up to the top, you know? But I don't think that everyone's a materialistic person. I truly believe that everyone wants to feel like they have a purpose, and maybe those people just neglect that fact and maybe had trauma in their life that kind of just gives them tunnel vision into, okay, if I have money and I have material things, then I'm happy.
One study found that in a 5-year time span, only 5.5% of observed lottery winners went bankrupt, and these were even based on smaller wins. You're actually at a higher risk of bankruptcy if your neighbor wins the lottery. Most lottery winners don't get assassinated. Most lottery winners don't go broke. Most lottery winners get freedom.
This is
actually at a higher risk of bankruptcy if your neighbor wins the lottery. Most lottery winners don't get assassinated.
I see this one all the time. This picture. Because what is Michael Carroll doing now? Because I'll see all over the place about, I don't even know who this guy is. And I'm sure that it's like, if you have money, it's stinking hard. It's the thing that people, they just don't invest it correctly. Like money market manipulation is one of the most horrible things that has happened to humans, but it's also one of the best things if you could acquire a lump sum of money. Because you just put 5 million into a mutual fund that it statistically grows between like 2 to 5% a year on average in just a normal mutual fund. So you're basically going to have, what, $100,000 salary every year just for living your life and having that money in the fund without even having to do anything that's mutually beneficial or just beneficial for society. Like you can just sit in this hot tub like Mr. Carroll is. Oh, he's a British man. He probably talks like this. I'm a British man and I won the lottery with my champagne. You think that that was like the day that he won the lottery was from that picture? No, he got big. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, if that'll even focus. But he was kind of skinny. So Michael Carroll is no longer a multi-millionaire lottery winner living extravagantly. He appears to have returned to working jobs similar to those he held before his win. His story is often cited as a cautionary tale of sudden wealth without planning. So it's basically why we see him a lot is because he is the stereotypical downfall of if you win the lottery, you'll probably spend it all and drink champagne until you'll go back to living a normal job.
Lottery winners don't go broke. Most lottery winners get freedom, health, and happiness. So when you win the lottery, here are the final steps you need to take. Fire Jason Kurland, cash that home insurance check, win your lawsuit, move somewhere far away, and relax. Because you were never fucked. Most lottery winners aren't. But maybe it just makes us feel better if we think they are.
W video. Yeah, dude. If I won the lottery, I'll be hopping on my pony Curtis, and we'll be getting us a ranch out in Montana, climbing mountains and shit. That sounds like the life. Maybe I should play more often. I haven't bought one in since I turned 18, so maybe we'll play again. Who knows?
Convocou, talvez cê tá com o popo. É vapo, vapo no setor. É vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo no setor. É vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo do vapor. Vai tomar vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo do vapor.